Welcome everybody to another Robutt podcast. My name is Lo-Fi, and I feel like I've lived an entire new life since returning to this. I lost 10 pounds in the last month. Good golly, oh my god, that's like 3 pounds a week. How did I do that? Anyways, it's been busy. How have you guys been? What's going on in life? How are you? It's November. N7 Day already passed. I hope you had a great celebration for N7 Day. We got more news on that soon. But it is late o'clock, and I'm recording my last video, which is this podcast. So, yeah, lots been going on. Lots and lots of things have been happening. Firstly, I'm no longer working at Spirit Halloween. That shit is done. Wowee, there's a lot there to process. I wanted to make a vlog much earlier about working at Spirit Halloween, but time just escaped me. For one, I became a store manager there, so that's cool. That's sweet. Is it worth it? It depends. I probably got like the easiest. I don't know if the easiest would be quite the thing, but I'm pretty sure I got like the easiest entrance into being a manager because we only had 3 weeks left of the store being open, and then like 1.5 weeks of tearing down the store. So I got cool manager credits for that, or I could put that now on the resume, which isn't too far from like directing. Sure, it's a lot more like corporate managey stuff, but like it's not entirely indifferent from any of that, so that's kind of cool. I'm gonna set this microphone down. It'll be right here. Golly, what even happened? There's a lot that happened, and I wrote down a ton of notes. The whole time, I don't know how much I should say, actually. But I had some cool recording goggles on, or glasses on, because admittedly, while I was working basically full-time at Spirit Halloween throughout my whole career there, I am still working freelance as well. And so every now and then I get a ping from my phone and I can be like, oh, yo, I can check my email. Oh, hey, another client needs this done once I get off the clock. Here, cool, good to know. That's pretty much all I have for that. But every now and then I get a cool little snazzy view of like, ooh, what's behind the scenes of Spirit Halloween? And let me tell you, it's actually not, well, for me, it wasn't that bad, but I have heard it's one of the worst retail experiences out there. I don't know, but I can tell you my experience. I started out as an assistant manager first over in a city called Redmond, and then I transferred over as an associate to Tukwila because I heard that the pay is a little bit nicer because it's more in the Seattle main city area, and I needed the extra time. As an assistant manager, you had to get 25 hours like minimal, and that was a little bit too much for me. As a sales associate, your minimal requirement is one shift, which is 4 hours. Easy enough. Anyone could do that. And so there was a solid bit where I'm like going back and forth. Oh my god, yeah, no, hold up. My very second day being an assistant manager, I opened up one store alone, which you're not supposed to do, but you know, hey, we're like 2 hours in and no one's shown up, so I'm just gonna open up the store by myself with my district manager over the phone. Yes, I still do this. And then I get told, hey, this other location doesn't have a closing manager. Could you do it? Sure, so head over to another location, help them close down, because there were no other assistant managers. Yay! Great. Awesome. There were some really, really long days, but then some pretty chill, cool days too, so it's not bad. It's, well, okay. If you worked on any film sets, then, like, this is relatively easy in comparison. However, for other... I mean, people shouldn't have to work that hard. That's, I guess, my thoughts on that matter, but here we are, and we do. So, let's see. Let me go through my list of things to do. What did I buy at Spirit Halloween? Because, you know, it's Halloween. It's Spirit Halloween of all. So, the things I bought... Oh, man. I think it was October 4th. is Employee Appreciation Day, in which everything is 40% off for employees, which is pretty good. Also, as an employee, you get 30% off already, which is pretty darn nice. So I got a Stormtrooper helmet, like an OG trilogy Stormtrooper helmet. Love it. Heck yes, it's got its own stand too. I also got the Spider-Gwen costume, which I would absolutely wear it 100%. Also, Spider-Gwen is just so cool. So yeah, stay tuned to some photos later eventually. I'm really trying to utilize the fact that I lost weight for some of these photos because like the suit looks really good. And I'll leave it at that. What else did I grab? Oh, I got Jack the Reaper, which is a cool animatronic. He's holding like his scythe over here, and then he has his hand posed out over here. He's got a little camera on his middle finger that tracks movement, and so like his hand will move first, and then the rest of his body will start moving, and it's really cool. I don't know if I actually needed it, considering that I don't really have the space for it, but one of those things that I can maybe hopefully modify later if I ever have the time. Now, okay, there's a couple of other miscellaneous things that I bought, props and things, and, you know, it's all in good fun. The thing that I learned a lot about working at Spirit Halloween is how corporate it is. Especially becoming a manager, I learned, oh wow, there's a lot of hoops and things that the store manager has to do to just run one store. And then the amount of emails and other calls from like higher ups that say, hey, we're changing plans, we're doing this now, or the like. Oh man, even the lingo that's in some of the emails, it just feels corporate, which I get it, you know. It's a whole nationwide company by Spencer's. It's just kind of funky to me that like it's Spencer's, or the parent company is Spencer's, which is like this very adult, tongue-in-cheek company, but they still have to run things like, I mean, I don't know. I guess like until they get having to balance out the company side of things, it's just I feel like a lot of the corporate lingo is from like 1990 or something rather than modern. But then again, I also have primarily like independent, freelance, and startup company type of experiences. So, what do I know? But it definitely kind of like further cemented this idea of like, ooh, I don't like corporations. I really don't. So, woo. At least we all survived. Let's see. Running a team in a company. Well, I mean, I kind of already had experience doing that with MozaicStudios, with other jobs as well. So this was kind of like a nice return too. Kind of just more of that. So that was kind of fun. It was nice to, I guess, learn how to communicate with other people. We had a few HR moments of like, oh, hey, one employee's making somebody else uncomfortable. One straight up, it just isn't listening, whatever the case is. Or maybe one's not being a team player. How do you deal with that? And I definitely relied on my team for a lot of that. In fact, the team that I had worked with, like 90% of them are awesome. I also got very lucky on that front too, because like a lot of people already had retail retail experience first and foremost. And so I'm just taking notes like, oh, what's it like working at your local Kroger then? What's it like working at like Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that? Especially compared to say Spirit Halloween here where everything feels different. From their perspective, it sucks. From my perspective, I'm like, okay, this is like a corporate-y film set in a way, but just like with a lot more boxes and costumes, which, I mean, that's probably one of the biggest perks is you get to work with costumes and cool things like that, props and whatnot, especially as like a creator type of person. Oh man, the amount of potential that it could like unlock for you. From the other side of working there, I suppose. But yeah, I definitely had an easier time managing certain people over others, and relied a lot on my team, which is huge, especially in retail. I feel like you gotta be like a huge team player. Funny enough, I got to work with D3, the real actor that plays D3 a lot in my videos. I got him on board a solid month after I got hired. I got hired at like the end of August, September, October. Okay, it wasn't too bad then. Yeah, solid couple of months of work. Was it? Yeah, it was around that time. Maybe it was mid-August. But anyways, I got D3 on board. That was a lot of fun. He ended up being like one of the store's like favorite managers, at least for the from the associate's perspective. And working with him was a lot of fun. You know, just like old times in a way. I've known the actor for him for quite some time, and so it was really cool to actually get to work with him one on one, and as a team as well. I got some fun stories I can share later, though. Nope, I found. I know. Sorry. I very much rely on my notes to know what's happening next. Otherwise, my brain is just everywhere all the time. So the location for this one, for this Spirit Halloween, was at an old Sears in the Tukwila Mall. If you're there, you know what I mean. And we're only taking up like a fraction of the space on the first floor. And there are 3 floors total. So the whole thing looks like the back rooms, and it's actually kind of cool. Like, as of the back rooms right now, recording this November 2025, yeah, it's liminal, it's weird, kind of creepy, especially when you go to the second and third floor where some of the lights are off. And in fact, the third floor doesn't even have lights, so it looks really creepy through that. And you're goddamn right, I got some recordings done there. I'm the store manager. I gave myself permission. We didn't steal anything. We just walked through. I did call the mall management and, oh, I'm sorry, no, mall maintenance, and I had asked, hey, would it be okay to record here? And they said, yeah, I guess. As far as we're concerned, this is your guys' property. So I'm like, cool. I'm the store manager. I'm going to allow myself and my friend to go upstairs and record some stuff. So stay tuned to a Backrooms style video. The concept of this video is Lo-Fi kind of goes to bed. Sorry, Lo-Fi the character, not me. Or I guess me, I don't know. It's complicated. Twin Peaks. I wake up. I guess I go to bed, and then I wake up, and I'm suddenly in the back rooms, and I look over, and I see D3 is over there, and I'm like, what the heck? And it turns out this is his mind palace. But it's also kind of an ethereal, fourth-dimensional plane of existence as well. We see Lux at some point, we're exploring through different time and space, and it's just kind of all wild. It's a lot of fun, though, and I got some footage of me walking around alone. And then on a different day, we got to recording with D3 as well. And so we'll see how that all plays out in the edit. But it was a lot of fun. And again, definitely looks like the backrooms too. Okay, so I know I'm. This is where I'm bouncing back and forth a little bit, and this is why I kind of have like a little thingy here. My tasks per role, the goods and the bads. First, we'll start out as an associate. My roles are to just kind of do whatever the manager wants us to do, or the assistant manager, and that's sometimes even helping them directly with whatever they need. Sometimes it's stacking up boxes, maybe it's replacing some stuff, maybe it's getting a shipment in and opening up the boxes and then placing them out on the storefront, whatever the case is. Pretty easy. Perks are you get flexible hours, you can drop out and someone's bound to replace you. Downside is it doesn't really pay that much, at least in most cases, in my personal opinion. And you work with some really interesting people, some good, some bad. As an assistant manager, again, one bad is like 25 hours per week, which maybe for some people that's awesome. For me, that was a little bit too much at the time. But some of the perks are you get to lead a little bit more, and you do get a little bit of a pay bump as well. You have some access, or some more access to like modifying schedules, or again, just kind of team leadership stuff. And then as the manager, biggest perk is the pay, and then you literally are the boss. What do you want to do? And so I guess that was it. Yeah. It felt kind of cool to like answer some emails being like, hello, yes, this is me. Or to like pull up the storefront and just go, yes, hello, this is the store manager at this one location. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. There's probably a lot more that I can go into. I'm still thinking about making a vlog about all of this stuff, especially with the amount of footage that I have, but we'll see. We'll see. The amount of boxes I've had to deal with though, like tearing boxes apart, setting up boxes, creating shelves with boxes, stacking boxes, stuffing boxes, emptying boxes, recycling them. Good Lord, they have a lot of boxes. Which, I mean, with my own Amazon shipments, I get it. I get it. I did have some cool influences or some ideas sparked because of this, though, for circuit breakers, specifically Lux. I was driving back home after I think I dropped off a check or I did something. Um, but I went to one other location and I was driving back home, and it kind of hit me. Dang, each person has their own experiences. AKA, like one of my associates was talking about how like his mom doesn't really work too much, so he has two jobs and he doesn't really get what's going on with like all the drama with some of the managers. And I'm like, well, I mean, I see one side and I get it. And then now having heard his side, I'm like, oh, interesting. Okay, so I get that too in a way. Um and so what I like, I don't know, there's like this concept in my head taking inspiration from one of those stories, like uh unique perspectives. The boss always sucks. The associates don't understand it, or maybe they don't want to understand it, or maybe they do understand it and they're just jerks, whatever the case is. But I have this concept of like all of these workers at a cafe called Bold Star Roasters, aka the one that Lux works at. They all kind of hate it there, or maybe some like it and some don't, but it's kind of like a day in the life of just how weird the shop gets. And the manager comes in, who is Lux in this case, but that's not quite the focus. You get to see everybody's side and how maybe Lux is kind of a hard ass sometimes, but maybe Lux also does something really cool that maybe the associates could think is also really cool. They don't see it, but you know, it's one of those like invisible I don't know what you would call it, but just like I don't know, it just shows more character, I suppose. Like nothing's really achieved or done in the story, just people are working, there's some misunderstanding, but there's some cool things that happen at the very end, and perhaps even a deeper understanding of each individual at the end of this story, too. It'd be kind of one of those, like, side plots, I guess, or maybe part of the anthology of Circuit Breakers, too. Oh boy. I once worked 50, no, 61 hours, possibly more, possibly 71 hours. I don't quite remember. I was paid for 61, though. But I did the math, and it's different, so anyways, Halloween week. Goodness gracious, that was a lot. So imagine this. There are several days where there's a line zigzagging around the store, and I have everybody at the front, people in the back, people around. We have like, I think 23 employees on hand literally at once because holy moly, guys, we need like all hands on deck. Every cashier or every register is like filled with a cashier. There's somebody in the fitting rooms manning the fitting rooms. There's someone remounting some things. The amount of kids and parents for that matter too that go through with either like their drink and then we'll just leave it somewhere or it'll fall, or food. I have found like a freaking box of like kung pao chicken or something and I'm like, what, why did you leave this here? Maybe it was by accident, but still, like, why? um it was busy, and we had three people literally walk out on us. So at one point, I go in and I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm talking to one of my associates. I'm clocking in, and one of my associates goes, hey, not much. Actually, it's a pretty good day. I'm quitting today. And I'm like, oh, okay. Thankfully, she stayed for the rest of her shift. But then after that, I've never seen her ever again. And then that same day, one of the assistant managers is buying like a beanie and is like, hi, gets to the front. I am the person at the front. I'm also a cashier at this point because we just need the line to be shortened. Also, managers and assistant managers are the only people to log in essentially other employees for the employee discount, which is worth it. But she comes up, she's like, hi, I'd like this beanie. Also, I'm quitting. And I'm like, oh, shit, okay. Well, I don't blame you there. It's been pretty tough. I know you start relatively soon. Are you quitting after? And she's like, no, for my mental health, I really need to, like, just bail. And I'm like, okay. In my head, I'm going, I literally opened the store. There is no one else outside you to close the store. Let's do another double shift. Cool, great. Wait, we also got bonuses too. I made a lot of money that week. Not enough to, well, I mean, yeah, I made a decent amount. Golly, it was a rush. I mean, it's a seasonal job. So for me, I just constantly think about like the light at the end of the tunnel and having like survived a lot of that stuff too. Like it's going to be okay. Every now and then I did take like a break to just breathe or to just like be with my own thoughts for like 30 minutes to a minute and then go right back out there. That was a lot. That was a really busy day. Luckily, Teardown was a lot easier, and fairly chill. We got our own music in. Oh my god! Actually, the music playlist at every Spirit Halloween is atrocious. It has like a weird mix of like Gen Z to boomer music to millennial music. It's an interesting combination of music. It's not a bad combination. It's just interesting, you know? Um I I don't know. To me, I just got tired of it. But I'm sure a lot of retail workers will listen to the same radio over and over and over again. So there's nothing new there. But yeah, Teardown was relatively easy. Got everything done. Still had to work on N7 day, but what can you do? My summary on working at Spirit Halloween: 7 out of 10. It pays sometimes. Definitely get some good managers to deal with the BS of corporate, and hopefully you guys can just have a fun time working there. Cool story. So while we were tearing down, by the end of tear down, actually, I should clarify that. We were waiting for one of the big crates to get like picked up, and so we're like, oh, okay, well, we'll just hang around our cars for a while then. And D3, bless his soul, got Jello shots. So literally everyone in the parking lot's having some Jello shots, and I'm like, oh wow. None of us drove for the next couple of hours, but it was still a really fun hangout. So hey, if you're also working at a Halloween spot or really anywhere else too, try to find a, I don't know, a positive spin on your time there. Hopefully it's temporary if it's painful. Um, yeah, it was an experience. The coolest thing also was just being able to work with a bunch of costumes. Like, I don't know, I mean, look at me. Like, you can imagine I would enjoy working at a Spirit Halloween, and I would say 7 out of 10 times I did. Um, yeah. So, what is after Spirit? Let me. What are we at? What's this battery at? 40%? We got time. And we're at 23. God damn, I talked for 23 minutes already? Sheesh. Okay, so what is after Spirit Halloween? I'm basically back at freelance work. As of recording this November 20th, it's been a solid almost 2 weeks that I've just been working freelance, and it's just been cranking out edit after edit after edit. That's basically it. It's back to kind of the same routine, except now I feel a lot more prepared for chaos. I Ooh, you know what? Okay, kind of going back and forth between this topic and Spirit Halloween. One thing I loved about working at Spirit Halloween was how active I got. Like, I am walking around a lot more, especially as an associate. I was walking around doing a lot of stuff, setting up stuff, tearing down stuff. And there were a few moments that I just could let my mind wander and just tune out for a while. It was so nice to be able to do that. Yeah, I'm physically active, but like, that's okay. I, especially working at a desk all the time or here, like, I need to get up and go. And so, when I have my freelance work, I developed a system where I have my Notion template. I have all of the projects that I need to do. Each project expands into its own like document of all the details and things that I need. But to be able to stand up and actually like take care of something, or to just, I don't know, give me a little physical dopamine, I don't know, to make me feel better, and to get up off my ass, I would write down all of my tasks that I had on Notion, also on these dry erase like little cards, and I would stack them over on like a magnetic, basically like a grate or a fence that's on my wall. I have a section that says done and a section that's all the tasks that I need to complete. Ideally, these are tasks that I know I can get done in one day, or if it's like a long-term edit, then like, hey, just continue editing. Cool, I did. And when I do, or when I do have a task complete, then I'm able to get up, go over to the board, take that magnetic card, and then put it into the done section. Cool, that's it. Easy peasy. And it's a tiny little thing, but it really, really helps me out on just recognizing when things are done. And it kind of gives me like something to look back on per day and it's nice. Sometimes I forget to update it, but for the most part, it's fairly well kept. Um, Sometimes I overwhelm myself with like, oh yeah, I can get all these done, and I only get like two or three things done because maybe those two or three things are like overly complicated. But we try our best, right? But yeah, mostly just freelance work is what I've been working on lately. My own videos. Hey, how's it going? Heck yes, fun to be back. Golly, what else? And then the holidays, surviving the holidays and complicated schedules and everything there. So, one thing I would love to get back into is studying 3D. That will be huge. And heck, if you're a 3D artist, I would love your help because I want to make more cinematic videos, featuring robots, of course, and I would love to learn 3D visual effects. That is something I don't quite know how to do, and if I could learn how to do it, then that'd be great. Also, I just burped. I'm so sorry. Let's see. 3D challenges would also be a lot of fun too. Like Clint's 3D challenge would be a blast. I keep downloading the project files, then losing the time to actually like partake in them. But something else that I learned from Spirit Halloween was time management. When I'm at work, I'm just at work, I'm doing things. Even if it like goes a little overboard, then, that's okay. I still come home and I have other tasks that I need to complete. And I'm not dilly-dallying. I feel like I have wasted a lot of time. Either I like stay in late in my bed, or like I find ways to get distracted, and when you're at work you really can't do that. And so to have that kind of discipline is really important to me, and it's something I want to keep doing here. So there you go, I guess. I don't know, I keep coming back to Spirit Halloween, but it genuinely is like a nice way to remind myself. I think also working with the team helps too, but there's a lot. So in other, oh, actually no, hold up. Let me skip some things here and there. During the month of October, I pursued Inktober again. Drawing is something I like to do. During my free time. I never want to make money directly off of drawings. So I'm really happy that I got to try out Inktober, or a daily drawing type of challenge. I didn't use any of the Inktober prompts. I just every day tried to draw something. It started rough. I was like 6 days behind, but I got through it. And then there was a point in which I got ahead, and then it kind of equalized out by the end of the month. So that was nice. I did not use a pencil at all. But one thing that I learned from it was I really needed to focus on like what is the end result going to look like, and then just fill in literally the blank with whatever image is in my head. Sometimes I didn't quite have an image. In fact, often when I'm drawing, I have like a faint idea on the direction, but I don't have like the image, if that makes sense. So it's just me kind of plugging around, waiting until something like strikes, and then once that thing does strike, then cool, we're good. Let's just roll with it and keep going. But yeah, I got a lot of nifty new robot concepts through this as well, which was kind of the goal. It was a fun challenge. It was like a way to force me to like do something I like doing and I want to do, especially during a busy season where I'm doing or working two full-time jobs. But it was also kind of like me exercising robot designs, and I like a lot of them. I might have to find a way to make a cosplay out of them, or learn 3D. We'll see though. Currently, I'm now just back to like drawing for fun. I am trying out Huevember as well, but admittedly I've fallen off of that like by nearly 15 days. Would be fun. I don't know. It doesn't quite have the same ring for me. That, or I'm just tired after all of that. Haven't really had much of a break since the ending of Spirit Halloween, since I just dived right back into freelance, but hey, that's what the holidays are for, right? We're almost there. We're almost there. On to more fun stuff, though. I have been watching a lot of stuff. For one, Twin Peaks. I finished it, the whole show, including the movies, I think. There's Fire Walk with Me, and then there's another one. And I think I've only seen one of them. So, okay, I guess I'm almost there. Um, what a wild show. For one, as a fellow Washingtonian, I am based here in Seattle, Washington. It is really cool to see a show that takes place and is primarily, I believe, shot in the Washington area as well. I think Snoqualmie or something like that. There aren't, like, hardcore landmarks outside the. Is it the Overlook Hotel? No, or is that the Shining? The big hotel that takes place in Twin Peaks, the first two seasons, anyways. Um, it's like 40 minutes of a drive for me, which is wild. Also, I guess in season three there are more like iconic mountain shots that one could recognize for sure. Um, but yeah, I decided to give it a watch. It is Sam Lake's inspiration for like Alan Wake and Elements of Control. So I was really curious that that would go down. And to quote Freddie Wong, like reference paintings or like or maybe sorry, maybe that quote doesn't actually go here, but I thought Freddie Wong had once mentioned like who are your heroes and who are your heroes' heroes? Study those guys. Like what influenced your heroes to do such and such. And so, um, I believe that's what he had said at one point. And so I took that line and I'm like, okay, well, I love Control. Alan Wake is super cool and weird. What is this weird universe? I want to know more about it. And so I got to watching Twin Peaks. Very interesting, very slow, a very slow burner. But it's not bad. I would say it's not for everybody, but it's one of those shows that like lingers. And it's similar to one of my favorite movies of all time, Blade Runner. When I first saw Blade Runner, didn't really care for it, but it like festered in my head. And I rewatched it, and every time I rewatched it, I learned something new, and I'm like, oh man, this is my best like favorite movie of all time now. I can imagine Twin Peaks might be very similar for a lot of people. It's really good, and thematically, I absolutely love it. It's weird and quirky. I don't know, and I guess having like an art form means something deeper too. Like it's a little pretentious at times, but at the same time, no one's making something like this, and so I appreciate it. Um, Rest in peace, David Lynch. You mad lad. um, and I also just finished Hazbin Hotel season two. As someone who, excuse me, um, as someone who's kind of a fan of Hell of a Boss, even with its weird writing sometimes, seeing Has-Been's also really cool. Lucifer is adorable. There's a lot of adorable characters. I am also just a big fan of. I know it's not quite indie anymore, but it's just really cool to see a creator just have this concept, just keep going with this concept, and then now is thriving. It's just neat. It's cool. My thoughts on it are it's fun. It's a little bit fast. I feel like they could have used like 3 to 4 more episodes. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I like slower things. I having just finished Twin Peaks, I'm sure it just feels like it's just flowing or flying by, but yeah, I liked it. It probably sounds like I don't like it, but I really do. I think I'm just more so a Hell of a Boss fan. That like this seems like almost uncanny that it's so similar, but it's also a musical. I'm not into musical. Oh my goodness, I'm not into musicals, but I do very much enjoy Hazbin Hotel. Um, Honestly, I would love to cosplay like Lucifer. Vox is like Bamf in this season, and there are some moments I'm like, ooh, let's go. Um, let's see, Serpentius, Angel Dust, a lot of the characters. They're fun. Um, I guess yeah, I don't really have too much to say on that front. I thought I would have more, but um, yeah, give it a watch. It's fun. Uh, it is an interesting study on writing for me as well, personally. But something a little bit more personally exciting, Mass Effect N7 was 2 weeks ago as of recording this. Not much news has come out outside maybe a Krogan civil war, and so there's a part of me that's just constantly wondering, like, what is the next Mass Effect going to be about? What is even happening right now? It does make me excited to hear that this will tie in, like, that whatever the next Mass Effect game is, it will tie into the show, in which the show is to now confirmed to be taking place after Mass Effect 3. We'll see if it takes place, like, around the time of Andromeda as well. I'm assuming it'll take place in the Milky Way. I think I read somewhere it'll take place in the Milky Way galaxy. And we do know that the next game will somehow showcase both universe or galaxies. So I'm intrigued. And as a fan of Mass Effect, literally you could see it on this bag actually. You could see it on the bag that I carry around every single day, everywhere, both for costume and out of costume as well. But I don't know. Mass Effect is a very special game for me. It's a whole franchise that I absolutely adore, and I feel like Andromeda wasn't given the chance by the developers and by the fandom. But I also understand all of its criticism as well, especially with how broken it can be sometimes. But really like the concept though. I was one of the fans that like didn't want Shepard back. I understand why people might want Shepard back, but I do agree with BioWare in saying Shepard's story is 1, 2, and 3, and we want to honor like all of the players' choices because Shepard is you. And I love that. I really love that. It just makes me kind of curious what the next one's going to be. And especially since this will take place in a far distant future, well, okay, I'm assuming in a far distant future, considering that Liara looks a little bit older, and if this will tie in Andromeda with the Milky Way galaxy, that has to be even shortly after the time of the Andromeda game, which took place like, what, 700 years into the future after 3? So, yeah, let's go. I think Mass Effect's one of those universes that is so huge. You can make a story and just place it anywhere in there, and I think it works. Or heck, it's such a vast universe that like you can go to a different system and then have like a personal story. You can have a story that is connected to Shepard in a vague way. You can do whatever you want in this. It's so big. Like looking at the franchises of say Star Wars and Star Trek and how many stories they've come up with just basically like what, like less than a 50-year time gap. No, I guess there's more. There's Archer all the way to Kirk and then Picard too. So yeah, okay, let's say a couple of centuries worth. But like now we have more of that. Or like look at Destiny. Look at all these like different universes that feel lived in and have so much lore behind it. Mass Effect was relatively fresh with having like the humans be a relatively new species to like the whole galactic gang. But you know, after MA3, everyone's kind of on the same playing field for having lore behind them. Destiny for sure has like a much bigger set of lore, or maybe a much longer set. I don't know. But I also don't know much about Destiny's universe. I just know that the X's are hot and some of the aliens are hot. However, the lore of Mass Effect, I'm curious. I'm curious where they're gonna go with it. BioWare, if you're listening, I'm still available. I'm gonna be cutting this up, possibly. So if you hear me repeat myself, and that's me entering in like video mode. But BioWare, Amazon, hey, I'm still here. If you guys need someone to help you out on set of Mass Effect, the TV show, hit me up. I could be a PA. I could also be someone to help with the lore accuracy of Mass Effect. Big fan. Also, you can throw me into the corner somewhere. I don't know. I'll be your BTS guy, or you can strap me to like the wall via duct tape. I just wanna experience this. That's it. Call me. Okay, ad break over. Moving on to shop updates. So, I'm assuming a lot of you have already seen a lot of my previous videos of like, oh, it was supposed to be out as of October 15th, and now it's November 15th, and it's still not here. And now it's literally the 20th, and it's still not here. What's going on? I'm trying. I did get some printers. A printer that'll be good for postcards, stickers. I got a cutter for stickers as well, so I can create both die cut stickers or sticker sheets. Very excited for that stuff. Especially given the state of the United States and the world and tariffs and everything. I'm trying my best to do everything literally in-house. What could I do either that's a one-wheel distant away, or could I do something in my office right here? And so I'm developing like zines, stickers, postcards. Those I can do here, but I'm still looking for t-shirts and hats and mugs. Those are probably the top three. Shout out to Tally Soundwave. She is helping me out with some of the acrylics. So like acrylic keychains and standees. I don't have any standee designs yet, but I do have keychains as well. Those will be coming in very soon, so stay tuned. I might go to Vogue Race for some of the other stuff. There's like playmats, but we'll see. We'll see. That's like probably the biggest shop update that I have. I have a lot of designs under works as well, and I'll be releasing new merch probably once a month. Like just sprinkling throughout. I'm most excited for a couple of items specifically. Number one, Eggbot has made a really cool gorillas inspired poster. It looks really freaking cool. Also, Papa Apple Pie has helped me out with a diagram of my anatomy. If you ever wanted to know what the suit looks like in full, or what type of synthetic skin this is made out of, what my eyes are made out of, and my optics and my organs and stuff, then there's a whole diagram just awaiting for your viewing pleasure. I'm thinking it'll be a t-shirt, and it will have a complimentary zine that goes into more details about the anatomy. So like the t-shirt will just have like a simplified anatomy without any like text or anything. And then the zine will have a lot more details. So I'm really stoked for that. And then that'll also help with some rent, and then hopefully moving into 2026, which, speaking of, that is the year that I want circuit breakers to come off the ground, and to help with that, I want to have a robot-made pop-up cafe. I want to get Fuchsia down here, Toby, and a couple of others, myself included, and to dress up as robot maids. Basically just me in a maid outfit. And, you know, you've seen the ones. I got a maid outfit in the closet over there. But I think it'd be a lot of fun. My friend Tway, down in Glendale, California, he made like a quick pop-up cafe for his friends at like a studio or something. And I'm like, dang, that looks gorgeous and that's so cool. I want to do something similar. So around February, I want to do that. And then immediately after that, move right into developing circuit breakers in pre-production, because I'm really miffed with myself that I didn't get that working. But here we are. There's also the potential of a con booth. So I did apply to Emerald City Comic Con for the Artist Alley booth. Now, I don't have a lot of drawings per se, and I know I just talked a bit about like not like selling my work. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if we even get in. Because I don't imagine, I mean, I have like a few zines that I could sell. And maybe I can make a couple of drawings here and there too, and then just have some photos. I would love to treat Emerald City's Artist Alley very similar to LA's, LA Comic Con's Artist Alleys. LA Comic Con is independently, owned, whereas Emerald City Comic Con is owned by ReedPop, and so they operate their stuff a bit differently. We'll see though. If I don't get a table, then I will still have like cool stickers and zines to hand out to those who either recognize me, or, you know, I can just advertise like, hey, do you want this? There you go. There's like a cool TV head with like moss growing on their head, and she handed out like these cool trinkets with like moss inside like glass, and it looked really cool. These trinkets could be used as like a little bracelet or a necklace or something, and so I found that really endearing, and I would love to do something similar. Let's see. Oh, the calendar! I forgot about the calendar. I'm still tempted to do something like this, or maybe I'll save it for next year, but oh man, I had this idea in January of this year too. A calendar of all us robots. Or maybe it's all Circuit Breakers robots. I'm not quite sure yet, but that's still the concept. If I have enough time to develop it, great. Realistically, probably not, but golly, I would love to do that. The biggest hurdle that I'm facing right now is I would love to do themed photos of all the Circuit Breaker cast members, or, you know, the characters. But I don't have the means to do half of this stuff. So let's say, for example, Valentine's Day, February, I would love to have, like, Lux, who is, like, on their stomach on the floor or something, doing, like, a cool, sexy pose. I only have a morph suit for me. And I think it'd be kind of weird to have all these people in costume, like, full costume, like, okay, this is theme, or like, let's say a beach theme in, say, July or something. Cool. I could certainly just wear shorts outside near the beach, with my synthetic skin here, but no other character can. So that's where I thought, oh, CGI would actually work quite well for that. Or maybe I can do some clever photoshopping. We'll see. I do have the designs of D3. He's a lot more robotic than I am. Obviously myself, Lux, Astro, but I don't have a lot of the other characters, so that's something I am still thinking about. But let me know, would that be something cool for you guys to have like a robot themed calendar? Also, would you guys be interested in a half a year themed calendar? So like if I get this under wraps by say July, would you guys have like a July to December 2026? Or would you guys just prefer waiting until 2027? Let me know down below. Alright, so coming back to circuit breakers. I got lots of plans, as you guys already know. The goal is still by July into August, start recording circuit breakers. And now I'm even thinking about making two either real short films or just relative short films. I think both might be under 10 minutes long, or even 8 minutes, we'll see. I want it as concise as possible, to be as good as possible, but to also to spark, essentially to treat both these short films as like a pilot for each other and for the anthology series, because I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I do want Circuit Breakers to be an anthology. I don't want it to just showcase me and all of my friends. I want this to be a story that anyone could insert themselves into, see themselves, whether that's like, oh, I'm inspired by this character, or they feel like me. I don't know. I want you guys to feel like you are recognized, and to hopefully inspire you guys to like take a better path in life and whatnot. And so, yeah, season 1 might feature a lot of like me and my characters, but then season 2 might feature a new set of characters. Wait, season 2, yeah, a new set of characters. That'd be really cool. Now, to do that through a way of making a film and to get more funding for it, I have a concept. 2 short films, one for online release and another for film festival release. For those who don't know, if you're going through the film festival circuit, that takes like a solid year to go through, because you are constantly just applying to all these different short film festivals, or maybe TV series festivals, whatever the case is. Some of them have themes. Film Quest would be a fun one, actually. But most of the time, they don't want a film to be pre-released somewhere else. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, we're good. I thought my battery just died. What are we at? We're at 20%, and once we get to that point, I just don't know. Which I should wrap this up really soon then. Okay. So, film festivals, right. So, for those who don't know, if you go to a film festival, they don't like pre-released things. They don't want to see your short film already on the website, because they want that exclusivity to their short films, or to their festivals. And for, I don't know, if you already have one showing at one festival, they'll still take it because, maybe it's a different audience, maybe it's a different region, whatever the case is. So I think it'd be kind of cool to develop both. Let's develop during the same time, basically like a 2-part pilot, but to also have these 2 parts be their whole complete story as well, to then pitch the idea, this is Circuit Breakers, the whole universe. Haven't developed the idea for one of them yet, but that is at least the concept. So we have one showcasing, a story to people that like films that are going to film festivals. The other will be for online purposes. So they're kind of both working at the same time. And then thirdly, I still want to make these shorts and sketches. Oh my goodness, it's been a long night. I still want to make shorts, skits, little memes, little vlogs as well. So next year is going to be a very, very busy year. And I hope to learn a bit of CGI way before any of that. Hopefully later this month. But yeah, anyways, that's the concept. I really want to show you guys more stuff, especially while, Circuit Breakers, one of the episodes might be going through the film festival circuit. I want to still show, like, other cool things. And so, I think a second short film just for online, just to help gather, like, attention, will help a ton. Also, if there's, like, an online gathering and an audience already, then film festivals do like that. They don't want you to release the film online, But if there's an audience for it, and there's a built-in audience at that too, yeah, they might just bring people in. We'll see. We'll see. So that's kind of the plans of 2026 into the following months and stuff. New merch will be released at that point too. I really like how Riz is planning out like a year and a half's worth of merch ahead of time. It's awesome. It's so awesome. But yeah, last bit of news that I have, I think. Okay, cool, sweet. I have a newsletter, a brand new newsletter. That's a sentence. I think this will help a ton in terms of just kind of sorting through the weeds of social media. I've been looking up a lot of like business practices for shop stuff, for online marketing, media. Seems to be the case. If I'm being fully transparent, I have heard of newsletters through like business marketing essentially, but it is also a nice way that like we could just connect without the need of social media. So if you guys are interested, then feel free to subscribe. If you're watching this via the newsletter, then hey, thanks for subscribing. If you're on Patreon, thanks for subscribing on Patreon, and consider also subscribing to the newsletter. It's literally going to be the same types of posts shared amongst but I think Patreon will also have a few exclusives as well. But there might also be more newsletters than Patreon posts, depending. I could just also copy and paste, but we'll see. But yeah, it'll be a nifty way to directly connect with you guys, which I know I keep saying that, but I do believe that is true because social media gets a bit out of hand, and especially seeing that one of my vlogs about the stunt helmet that I have get like thousands of views, and then my skits get like 100 here, and then another vlog gets like 1,000 here. Like, what is this algorithm? And it depends on like where to. Like Tumblr is going to be completely different from TikTok, which is going to be completely different from Blue Sky, and it's like, gosh, there's no consistency for like reaching out across the internet right now. And so I'll still be posting everywhere. Just, a newsletter might be a little bit more, not dedicated, but like, just easier. Check your inboxes and feel free to sign up down below. Link down below. I think that's it. It is nearly midnight. I am going to go to bed and tear down all this stuff, but thank you guys for watching. Comment down below anything that you would like to share. If you've had some fun retail experience, if you've seen Twin Peaks, Mass Effect, Hazbin Hotel, Hell of a Boss, if you would like to help any of these projects out as well, I will. I'm making a post about that later as well, where I'm just reaching out to people. Hey, if you want to help me out with circuit breakers, that'd be awesome. Yeah, let me know how you guys are doing. Would love to learn how you guys are sorting through life, especially as we're entering in the holiday season. But for now, I am tired. I hope you guys rest as well. And for now, you guys stay artsy. I've been Lo-Fi. You guys take care. I feel like I'm off my mojo tonight, all of a sudden. Oof, yeah. My face hurts really bad. I also want Lux redesigned. I know I have, like, the drawing redesign, like, made. I just need to freaking do it. Astra I don't think will be redesigned. D3 definitely needs to, though. A lot of characters need to. I do want to go back in, like, and sort through, like, what characters could I even not kill, but, like, do I need a lot of these characters? Maybe, maybe not. For the pilots, no, I don't think so. But for the extended lore, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Heck, if anything, that's where I get probably my biggest inspiration through Vivian. It's building out cool characters in this lore way ahead of time and then finally being able to execute it, so yeah. The podcast is done as of now, by the way. The Stay Artsy bit was like the ending. Other message, stay inspired, keep learning, keep an open mind, stay a listener, and express yourself. Express your love, not your hate. Figure out why you're hating. Express your love, all that stuff. I am getting loopy. Okay. That's it. Okay, I'm gonna cut this.